when all the planets, out of the 9 planets, Rahu and Ketu being the 2 nodes, all the other 7 planets being placed on one side of the Rahu-Ketu axis. Not with Rahu and Ketu, but all on one side. Which means, say for example, if Rahu is in the Lagna and Ketu is in the 7th house, then all the planets being placed from the 2nd house to the 6th house is what the Kal Sarp Dosha is, with Rahu and Ketu in the Lagna. Now, what does such a Kal Sarp Dosha mean to you, or what results does such a Kal Sarp Dosha bring to you when Rahu is in the ascendant and Ketu is in the 7th house and all the planets between the 2nd house and the 6th house? Now, firstly, once Rahu and Ketu are placed in the ascendant and all planets go on one side, which means you have 3 strong malefics: Saturn, Mars and Sun, all placed on one side of the axis. And then you have 4 benefics: Jupiter, Mercury, Venus and Moon, also on the same side of the axis, which means you have all positives, all negatives, or all benefic planets and all malefic planets on one side of the Rahu-Ketu axis. Now, what is when all the planets are between on one side, say in between the 2nd house and the 6th house? So some planets go in the 2nd, some go into the 3rd, some go into the 4th, some go into the 5th, some go into the 6th. Then you have all the malefic and benefic energy in these 5 houses. But we know that the malefic planets are stronger than the benefic planets, which means that the malefic planets are overpowering the benefic planets to a large extent in these 5 houses and giving the effects. And that's why the benefic's strength is reduced to give more prosperous or better results. And the malefics are able to exert themselves stronger, because of which there are seen more challenges in such a person's life rather than better results. Now, between the 2nd and the 6th house, we have the 2nd house of dependence, 2nd house of family or home, 2nd house of income, 2nd house of food, savings. So a malefic going into the 2nd house will definitely bring about challenges in all these, in savings and earnings, your relationships with your dependents or immediate family. And 2nd house is also the house of language. So if a malefic goes into the 2nd house, that means the language may also become aggressive, especially with Mars going there. Then you have the 4th house. The 4th house is the house of domestic life, which is domestic happiness and your mental peace of mind. And if a malefic goes into that, then obviously you will have challenges at home. You may have challenges with your spouse. You may have challenges in material gains, which means 4th house is the house of all material gains, not tangible money, not money which is paper money, but money in terms of resources. So things that money can buy. So houses, vehicles, jewelry, all comforts of life are represented by the 4th house. So any malefic or more than one malefic going there means your ability to get material gains in your life, to buy or to attain these things like having houses, having the material comforts like having air conditions, having a large television, having a bike, having a car, having jewelry, all these are affected. Then the 5th house is the house of children. So malefics going to the children means your children's life is under duress. Your children's life is under stress. Your speculative gains. 5th house is also the house of gains. So gains are affected, or the good luck is affected. 6th house is the house of service. And if malefics go into the 6th house means the service is under duress. You'll have challenges with your colleagues on a day-to-day basis. 6th house is also the house of day-to-day activities. So your day-to-day activities, especially if affected by a malefic like Sun, means that you will get into arguments on a daily basis with somebody. So these challenges will be seen. If a malefic goes into the third house, that means your ability to put in effort, self-enterprise, self-branding, marketing self is affected. So that's why it is mentioned that when all the planets go on one side of the Rahu Ketu axis, it brings in more challenges for those attributes, and you will have to struggle more to attain better results out of those.